And welcome to our Monday morning edition of Mornings with Luann and Tim on TV. Certainly hope you had a great weekend. Drove home from Espanola in the snow yesterday. Yeah, snow.
Where? What?
Yeah, there was. It was
well,
like
actually, you know what? I do remember now. I had to get a little bit off my car, but
it like the whole way home.
What time did you drive?
It was about. We got home around 4.
How's your mom?
Good.
Nice to see her again.
Yeah, she's a
You're
little
such a good daughter. You go home quite often. That's
well,
really
nice. Well, you know what? I only have one mom.
Yeah.
She's been awesome to me, so at least I can do is go visit, right?
You got one mom, and she's got how many kids?
4.
4 of you.
Yeah.
I thought there were more. I guess it's just all those cousins that makes me think there's so many of you. This is really good.
You got some new coffee.
I don't know what blonde roast means.
It's lighter than dark. See what I did there?
I think I'm going to have to contact my friend Lars.
Lars? Oh, yes, Lars.
From Copper Country Coffee Roasters. Is that right? He's everywhere. He was on like this week and stuff. And I had him first. I had him on the show first. I interviewed him first. Anyway, well, I'm going to have to ask Lars what blonde roast means. It's obviously a process.
I think it's just less like bitter, and like dark roast is heavy.
Maybe a blonde person roasts it.
Maybe that must be it.
Anyway, it's really good, and it's got hints of like milk chocolate and stuff in it.
Yes, it's very yummy. He let me have one actually. He's very generous because it's Monday. By I don't know, this afternoon he'll be get your own coffee.
Unlike the coffee, unlike coffee, I get more bitter the longer I sit. Okay.
There you go.
You have stuff to talk about. I got a couple things.
I do. Yeah, Lion Air this morning. Ooh, boy, such
229
tragedy.
Passengers and 12 crew?
189 passengers, and then the staff, the crew.
This was the one that went down?
Yeah, this morning. And apparently it was the first one in years that was allowed back into some countries because Indonesia is not well known for their safety regulations.
Wait, is this the one that just completely vanished off the?
Yeah, no warnings, no radar.
Have they located it, Lou?
Well, yeah, that oil slick that you're looking at, that's where it went in.
No, so they know where it is.
And they're saying now, it's only a few hours old, but they're saying now that it's likely that nobody survived it. So imagine the poor people.
Terrible.
Somebody that was on that plane, and oh my gosh, the weight.
Do you get scared when you fly ever?
No.
Me neither.
I don't.
Because
I love
they're so rare.
Yeah.
They
really are.
They say your odds of dying in a plane crash are so much more exponential than dying in a car crash.
Yeah.
So, every time you get in your car, you're more likely to perish than in a plane.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't get nervous in planes. No, I don't think my brain doesn't go there.
No, I don't know if it's a self-defense thing, but I like taking off. I like landing. I like, a little bit of turbulence even. But if it gets too
I'm one of those people, I get on a moving vehicle, a plane, a train, if I'm a passenger in a car,
yeah,
I'm out.
I'm the same.
Love it. The white noise of a plane too.
It's just like, perfect.
I have an interesting kind of a local story.
Okay.
I came across this on the CBC. Nairn Centre, we all drive through Nairn Centre on our way to Sudbury.
That's where I had my first illegal drink.
What do you mean legal, illegal?
Because I went into a bar and said I was legal, but I wasn't.
That's not a first legal drink. Was it your
first drink
in a bar
ever?
Oh, ever.
On a first date. And I had no idea. I was in grade 12. He was in grade 13. So he was like, ooh. And I went to a house party with all the grade 13s and me. And I had never had a drink before in my whole life. So we go to the bar first. And I'm like, I'll have a screwdriver. Because I didn't know what else to ask for. Yeah, so lame.
So you have fond memories of Nairn Centre. Their population's gone down, Lou. Have you heard?
No.
Okay, the population of Nairn Centre right now is 342.
Oh my goodness.
Down 30% in 10 years.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so this young guy, his name is Frederick Diebel. Diebel, Frederick. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. He ran for council.
I think it's Diebel.
Diebel? Okay, he was 18 years old when he submitted his papers, 19 years old when he tied for the highest top spot in the council race. He is now a city councillor at the age of 19 for Nairn Centre. He has to commute twice a week from Carleton University in Ottawa, where he's studying.
Really?
And he said when he there, oh my gosh, I can't believe you found his picture, Michael. He apparently was going door to door, and the responses he got from people were like, well, a combination of how you're too young to know anything, to I am so impressed that youth like you are getting involved in politics. What a wonderful thing. We need more kids like you. And he won. He tied for top. So
isn't that great?
Congratulations, Frederick, 19
Good
years
for
old.
him.
And one of his whole things is trying to get people to, once again, like Sault Ste. Marie, retention, stay in Nairn Centre. You got to wonder, I always drive by, the transport stop is there, and I think, what else do people do in Nairn Centre besides commute?
Jeremy's, where the transport stop is, that restaurant, the best potato pancakes.
No kidding.
Awesome.
I've never stopped in Nairn Centre.
For brunch? Oh my word. Yes.
Take it from her, she would know.
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, you should. It's
potato
just delicious.
pancakes.
Yeah, potato pancakes it is.
What else you got?
Well, there's, of course, the big...
There's so much stuff going on in the States with all of the shootings. Do we have to talk about them?
We do.
Okay.
Well, just because depressing. Pittsburgh, of course...
In the synagogue.
Yes, it happened on Saturday.
How many? 11? People?
Yes, 11.
A 97-year-old woman named Rose. That's the heartbreaking one.
I can't imagine.
You lived 97
years. A married couple, 2 brothers who were handicapped.
You live 97 years, and you go to your temple for Shabbat, and you go and...
And that's what happens. But apparently, Jewish leaders, I read on Twitter this morning, are saying that Trump is not welcome in Pittsburgh until he denounces white nationalism. After he said that he was a nationalist maybe a week ago. Yeah, he's not helping.
And he doesn't. All. And what none of them see a correlation. Pence says, I don't see a correlation.
No.
McConnell, I don't see a correlation. Trump, I got nothing to do with it.
But when he's reading, when he's on the prompter, he sticks to the message, and they write it verbatim for him. As the second he goes off script,
that's when he gets into trouble.
That's when he gets just silly.
I can't. And then what was this now? Some reporter said to him, is it true that your brother John gave you the book of Hitler's papers?
What?
And he said to the reporter, who told you that? And he's like, I don't remember. And Trump says, it wasn't my brother John. It was so-and-so. He Marty's somebody else, and he's not Jewish. And yes, so what? Mein Kampf, whatever. Then somebody contacted the Marty guy, and then later in the interview, Trump says something about, so even if I had the papers, I didn't read them. Okay. So now this guy Marty says, whoever Marty is, turns out he's not Jewish, and it's not Mein Kampf. It is Hitler's papers, Hitler's speeches. It's Hitler's speeches.
Really?
Then somebody's ex-wife said, this could all be hearsay, but anyway, they remember Trump. Maybe somebody said his nighttime reading was Hitler's papers, Hitler's speeches.
You know what?
He's been studying Hitler's speeches.
Would love.
Now, this could all be just a big. But I read it. Doesn't mean it's true, but I read it.
I would love to read Hitler's speeches. I like anything about him because it reminds us, hopefully, what a neurotic, evil person he was. But then you see someone like Trump and the way he leads, and you wonder...
The divisiveness. Right. And the threat, creating a threat.
And there's always, the media is the enemy of the people. That's how Hitler started.
That's how Hitler started.
That's one of his things.
And then talking about the people, the other races coming in and polluting.
Yes.
Which is what they're saying about the Middle Easterns. And now, apparently, so the big rumor is that George Soros, the multi-billionaire, is funding the caravan. And so the Jews are bringing the caravan in.
And there's terrorists in the caravan, too, There you have 3,000 people, is it, in that caravan?
I think it's gone up now.
Yeah.
And now there's another one launching from
And they have all those people going through this torturous situation just so they can have some terrorists infiltrated in there to get into the United States.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I have another nice story, though.
Good, thank you.
In Toronto, a mom and son were reunited after 31 years apart.
Oh, is that the little boy when he was a
yes,
little boy?
He was kidnapped by his dad.
No.
When he was 21 months old.
No.
His dad took him to
Little buddy.
Hartford, Connecticut, and lived a completely false life, changed both their identifications. So now they finally found the dad, and of course he's charged with, kidnapping and using false ID to. The mother and the son in Toronto met, and she was just over the moon.
I can imagine.
Right?
You think you never see him again, and there he is.
Right.
All grown up.
Yay.
That's a happy story.
Yes.
We have more happy stories to come. The String Doctors interview coming up right after this. They're performing at LSSU across the river on November the 1st, Thursday night, as part of the Arts Center concert series. And I have an interview with Ray Camillet, who is one of the 4 String Doctors. You're going to love the interview. He's a lot of fun. Later on, Craving Change from Algoma Public Health. And news from Luann. So don't go anywhere. There's lots more to come on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
History lesson for you.
I am very pleased to welcome on the show via Skype, satellite, or however we're doing this. Joining us from Columbus, Ohio is Ray Camillet of the String Doctors, who will be performing at the Lake Superior State University Arts Center as part of their concert series on November the 1st. Ray, what do you say?
Well, it's so great to be here in Canada.
Just like that, without even a passport, you're here. The magic of computers these days. You were telling me that this is not your first foray up to the Upper Peninsula. You are a Michigan fella, and you've been here before. Tell us a little bit about your past experiences coming up to northern Michigan.
Oh, I have a lot of stories, but you don't want to get me started there. I think my first gig in the UP was in 1980. For the Hiawatha Festival in Marquette. But we've played the Porcupine Mountain Music Festival in Lake State many times. We were just at Grand Marais a couple years ago, a year ago this past summer. They have a music festival at Grand Marais, on the South Shore of Superior there.
Beautiful.
And I've played in Escanaba, lots of different places. I've been lucky enough to collect a number of Ano and Toivo jokes, and we do tell a lot of those jokes with the String Doctors.
I read that you have a lot of Michigander jokes.
Yeah, well, Michigan can be a funny place.
And you've got Joel Mabus, who plays with you. What a funny guy he is.
He's brilliant too, but he is very funny.
Some of his songs are so clever.
He wrote Hitler was a vegetarian too. These soybean burgers just don't hit the spot tonight. And darling, somehow those tofu tacos just don't seem quite right. So forgive me if I slip downtown for a plate of barbecue. 'Cause darling, Hitler was a vegetarian too. And lots of others. Well, we do Hopelessly Midwestern and the Duct Tape Blues.
The Duct Tape.
Yep.
Now, so you do a real combination, though. You've got some standards, you've got some original tunes, and then every once in a while, it sounds like you might pull out a nugget that you found in a trunk somewhere. Personal favorite.
Yeah. I've been living in antique stores for the last 40 years, and there is so much material in antique stores, it's hard to believe.
Like sheet music and stuff you're talking about, or what?
Well, yeah, both. Originally, I had a list of about 20 stores I'd go to for the sheet music because I was very interested in ragtime music, and I still am.
Yeah.
In of the published rags, there was about 3,000 ragtime pieces published around the turn of the century, early 1900s, of which only 200 have been republished.
Nope.
And that means for 2,800 of them, the only place to find them is in the old piles of sheet music.
Wow.
Isn't that something? And of course, there was lots of other things besides ragtime that was popular then. All the vaudeville songs were very popular on sheet music, too. You
were telling me that you've done some lecturing to the theater about minstrel shows and that sort of stuff. So you have...
Well, the talk I do is called World Slavery, the Haitian Revolution and the Rise of American Music.
Wow.
And it is really kind of a survey of the international history of slavery, how it changed in the United States, and how both black and white music formed around it. And, of course, the minstrel show is central to really the whole formation of culture in the United States. Now, it is a racial grotesquerie, but nevertheless, that's what happened.
Yeah.
The minstrel show was really responsible for lots of theaters being built throughout the United States.
Wow. So is this your other career? I mean, are you a music historian, or is it just a historian in general?
If you get interested in old music, you become sort of something that you put together a body of knowledge that most people don't have, and there's so much of it. The 19th century United States was an explosion of culture of so many kinds. It was really the first great blending of the peasant peoples of the world, all coming together in the same place. And there was no prevailing culture. I mean, the WASPs, they tried to make like they were Europeans, but the vast majority of the common people were ethnic and did not expect to hear their own ethnic music where they migrated to.
Fascinating. Now, your musical interests, do you share that sort of your musical interest from that era with your fellow bandmates, or?
Oh, sure. Joel Mabus is really, I can't say scholar, but he's just a brilliant treasure trove of tons of the old music, of the fiddle tunes and the dance music and the blues and the old country music. His parents were fiddle players that played on the I think it was called the Barn Dance of WLS in Chicago.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And so he has a big musical background just through his family, too. But he's a brilliant guy
but now,
when it comes to all that.
Joel actually is it guitar and mandolin?
Guitar, mandolin, fiddle, banjo, harmonica, you kind of name it. Give him an instrument and he'll play it for you.
Now, your other fiddler is Peter Knupfer, correct?
Oh, Peter's such a good one, too.
He's got quite an extensive musical past, hasn't he?
Sure. He played with a popular bluegrass band in Wisconsin for many years called Grass, Food, and Lodging.
Right.
Hey, that could be popular again in Canada soon, right?
Yes.
And he moved he's a professor in history at Michigan State in East Lansing. And when I first heard him play, I said to Joel, man, we got to get this guy in a band.
Well, he's a champion. Wisconsin fiddle champion, Kansas fiddle champion. He's recorded his own albums, 8 albums.
He's heavy. He's really good, too.
Wow. And then what about Dave? Dave Rosin on the bass?
Yeah. We give him a bow, and he can rosin up his bow, too. And he's considerably younger than the rest of us, but he's a great musician and has a beautiful sound. He's actually a great jazz player, too. Well, but he knows this old stuff, too.
Yeah, when we were trying to get warmed up here and figure out all of our sound and issues, you were doing some beautiful jazz stuff on your guitar there. Is that you got a ton of jazz background, do you?
Yeah, I love jazz, but
go ahead.
I tend to go into jazz through the back door, which is ragtime and blues. And so my approach is more the old swing jazz. That's about as modern as I get. But, you know,
Could you give
if
us
you
a
want to
little-
do it believably, you really got to be able to improvise.
Could you give me a little sampling of your guitar magic there, Ray? Hey Ray, I see you've been at festivals all over the place. Edinburgh, Scotland, Vancouver, Vancouver, BC, the Philadelphia Folk Fest.
Yeah, so, you know, some of the Canadian folk festivals are some of the very best in the world. And
Is this
so, yeah,
I'm looking
Winnipeg,
at
Mariposa, those kind of things, they're really great festivals. And the Canadian people love folk music
We certainly
very
do.
well.
Can I ask you, this review, is the Village Voice, is that like the Village Voice from New York City Village Voice?
That's right, sir.
Well, the review is, and I thought I'd gone to heaven when Ray Camillet and Joel Mabus rode high and hard and handsome, dueling their swinging guitars. That's pretty freaking high praise from the Village Voice, sir.
I liked it.
I don't blame you at all. So what can audiences expect, Ray, when they come to see you at Lake Superior State University on the 1st of November? What can they look forward to?
Well, it's a pretty hot picking band, and so we do. You know, everybody's a pretty fine player, and we do some tricky stuff. But we also like to have fun.
Right.
And like you said, Joel Mabus has a great sense of humor. When we do a lot of his tunes, they're one of a kind. But we also love the ONNtv stories, you know, from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and we tell a number of those too.
Excellent. And so basically, as far as musical genres go, you cover everything from jazz to swing to the bluegrass to the... did I miss anything?
No, that sounds pretty good.
Pretty good. Eh? And anybody
Yeah.
who wants to check you out, you've got videos on YouTube. We opened this segment with a clip, and we'll probably go out with another clip of you guys. Tickets are available, I guess, through the Arts Center at LSSU. The concert starts at 7 o'clock. I'm looking at the LSSU website right now, Ray. It's lssu.edu. It's easy. We can just Google Art Center at LSSU, folks, and you're going to find out how to get your tickets. You don't come up very often, do you? So we better get our tickets now and come and see you, right?
I think that's right. And I think the last time, I don't think the String Doctors have ever been to Sault Ste. Marie.
I love the name, too. I love the name, the String Doctors.
Oh, that's good. That's just a show-off name.
Yeah, but you know what? We could all use a little musical healing, Ray.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. You know, we do a tune, an old Irish tune called Whiskey Before Breakfast, and we say we can't prescribe it, but we do recommend it.
Can we hear a little bit of Whiskey Before Breakfast, Ray? Sign off with?
Oh.
Restaurant review.
That's after my own heart. Whiskey Before Breakfast, Ray.
Hey,
Listen, thank you so much for spending time with us this way, and I look forward to seeing you that way, live and in person at Lake Superior State University at the Arts Center as part of their Arts Center concert series. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been Ray Camillet all the way from Ohio.
Oh, that's right. Oh, these mobile devices are so nice.
Yeah. Thanks again for spending your time with us, and break a leg at the show, Ray.
Thanks, Tim. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye for now. You can check out Ray Camillet and the String Doctors, as I said, at LSSU Arts Center, and you can check out for tickets online. We'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this.
To miss New Orleans and miss it each night and day. I know I'm not wrong. The feeling's getting stronger the longer I stay away. I miss the moss-covered vine, the tall sugar pine, where mockingbirds used to sing.
You're seeing things running through your head. Who can you call? Ghostbusters! An invisible man sleeping in your bed. Oh, who you gonna call?
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim. So our cameraman Will did a little research, and
Yes.
blonde roast, it didn't really say that it has anything to do with the actual roasting process. It's more about the fact that it's light and flavorful.
Yes.
And it really is.
As opposed to dark roast, which is just more substantial.
Substantial. And speaking of coffee, that was my segue into the Alzheimer's coffee break. So we had a coffee break here.
Yes, you did. You hosted it. It was awesome.
I had a lot of support from Trina, who brought in baked goods to support it, and also from Kevin, who constantly brought in donuts, and people brought, Angela brought stuff from Superior.
Yeah, you only brought in stuff once and everybody else helped.
That's true. But however, I just like to say to the Alzheimer's Society, congratulations to date. Just in our community, Coffee Break has raised over $51,000.
Nice.
Yay,
Good
Sault
for
Ste.
you.
Marie and all the local businesses. And there's a lot of Gold Cup winners. I can't go through them all, but
there's so many.
the McDougall Energy donated a Keurig home brewer system, and the winner was BDO Dunwoody. So congratulations.
Awesome.
Oh, winners of St. Joel and Coffee Roasters gift boxes. Central Algoma Secondary School. Guys at Cass.
perfect. That's
CLA
awesome.
Boundary Road 501C, and Eileen Hedrick. So that's great. They had
Bia Fiormonte must be thrilled.
Bia
she worked
is
so hard for the Alzheimer's.
I know. And they're going to come back on
And
and talk
Terry
about more stuff.
Caparossi too, I suppose.
Yeah, a little bit, so.
Yeah, he just has a big fancy office and a big desk.
Oh no! Have you been to that Alzheimer's
Yes.
office? Isn't it great?
The rec room is
The resources
awesome.
they do stuff there, like
Yeah.
in-house stuff for. They take buses come in with people who have dementia, and they have classes and exercises.
It's
and
so good.
And then also the family stuff that they do. Like we
Yes.
went, because my mother has dementia,
Yes.
and so we went as a family, my sisters and I, for the family series, and they really educate you about what you can expect to happen, the different stages. You watch videos, you hear guest speakers, you hear about people with families with lived experience. Amazing.
Isn't that wonderful to have
you know
that
what?
knowledge?
Right? Because ignorance is fear.
Yes.
Knowledge is power. And it doesn't make having a parent with Alzheimer's easier,
No.
but it does make it less scary.
Well, at least
When you know what's down the
Yeah.
road for you, and when you know what's coming at you, that you're
And
prepared
then when
to
it
deal with
begins to happen, you go, oh, okay, they told me that was going to happen.
And they all have all kinds of tips and strategies and things to help, not just for personal care, for self-care, but also about how to relate to your relative
Sure.
who is. I mean, there are people in there whose children are,
Yeah.
wives.
Yeah, and you know what I have to say? You are a darling with your mom. She's very lucky to have you and your sister.
My
your brother.
sisters are.
Yeah.
My sister Mary Lynn is my hero.
Yeah. That's terrific.
Great support in our family, for sure, for sure.
You know what? I wanted to let you know.
What?
Hollywood.
It's calling for me finally. The call
Yes,
came.
finally. I told them you were busy. Ben Affleck and Jen Garner actually got officially divorced. But
while he was in,
they went to
was that
Game
before
4
or
of the World Series. Right after they finalized the divorce. That's him
Luann,
going
I'm a
in.
little confused. You've been telling me stories about Jennifer Garner taking Ben Affleck to rehab.
Yes. Yeah.
They weren't even, and so wait.
So they weren't actually divorced. They got divorced like last week.
So she's
Technically
been doing
got
all of
divorced.
that while they've been going through a divorce.
Yeah.
She's been taking him to
She's
rehab.
been taking to, and now they're going to Game 4 of the World Series
Well,
together.
then obviously he's doing well.
Yeah, he's, you know what? I think that she has a boyfriend apparently.
He is so, there she is.
I'm thinking it would be a little difficult for the boyfriend maybe. You're going where, with who?
But you know what, Luann, I think if you think of it as the romantic relationship is over, but what's left behind is the love and the friendship.
Yes.
So would you be jealous if Jim really took care of an old friend of his, a dear old female friend of his who was in trouble and he helped her out?
No.
You wouldn't be jealous.
No, I wouldn't.
I know.
Because I know where his heart is.
And I think that probably Jennifer's, whatever her beau knows where her heart is when it comes to Ben. So that's it's wonderful to have. Once again, support system, it's everything, people.
You gotta have it.
You gotta have it. Listen, coming up is the news with Luann, followed by my friend Lindsay's here from Algoma Public Health, and we're going to talk about craving change and Halloween. So
stay tuned to Mornings with Luann and Tim on TV.
Jump to the left.
Shake, shake, Sinora, shake your body line. Whoop. Shake, 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 Sinora, shake it all the time. Work, 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 Sinora, work your body line. Work.
they start the song, shake, 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 and the dummy, the skeleton is getting zapped, and he's
shaking. Senora.
That was kind of funny.
Is Shake Senora? Is that from Beetlejuice?
Shake,
Does anybody-
shake, shake,
Senora.
Senora.
It is from Beetlejuice.
Is it?
Yes.
Really?
If I say Beetlejuice 3 times, do you show up?
I don't know what that means, but sure.
Have you ever seen Beetlejuice?
Yes.
It wasn't a compliment.
How unusual coming from you.
You know,
My
I love
darling.
you, my
Yeah.
sister friend.
Yeah, my
I
brother.
just spittled.
Yeah, baby brother
let's move up
drools
some more.
everywhere. He just does. You
More
know what?
juice for
We talked about my weekend. I didn't ask you how your weekend was.
Don't ask.
Okay. So anyway,
No,
in
'cause
New
here's what-
Brunswick.
Okay, so here's the full story.
All right.
While Wendy McIsaac was fiddling on the show on Friday,
I was wondering what you were doing there for a minute.
Donna Hilsinger leaned in and she said she knew that Keith was leaving for Sudbury for 5 weeks.
Yes.
So while the fiddling was going on, if you watch it back, you may even see Donna lean in and she says, if you want to come and see Ashley McIsaac tonight, I will gift you. Donna was going to give me 2 tickets.
Nice.
To go and see them at the machine
Awesome.
shop, courtesy of Donna Hilsinger. What a nice friend.
Such a
going
doll.
away present for Keith from Donna. So I got home from work and had my usual nap. We have naps
Yes,
we're,
have to have
because we're
naps.
old. I had my nap and I told Keith, call for a taxi for 6:45 to 6:50 to pick us up and take us. And I made reservations for a nice dinner for 2 at the Mill Steakhouse.
Oh,
which is
nice.
of course attached to the machine shop. So I thought, okay, go
We'll
down,
have
have
dinner.
dinner, go watch the concert, and then we thought we'd join up with some other friends afterwards as a sort of goodbye to Keith.
Okay, wait a minute. You have friends?
Do you see why I'm mean to her? So I woke up, my alarm went off, and when I went to turn off the alarm, somehow my finger also... Oh no, I woke up before the alarm went off, which is what happened. So I went to turn off my alarm, and instead I hit calendar. And my calendar popped up, and I was like, oh, wrong button. And just before I went to get rid of calendar, I saw the Sioux's Got Talent.
Oh, you were...
I was a judge for the final night of Sioux's Got Talent on Friday night, and here I was getting ready to go for dinner and to a concert.
Oh
I
my
completely
goodness.
forgot. And if I hadn't hit that button, I would have headed down for dinner and completely missed, and I had to sing the opening number. So at 10 to 6, we
And
jumped
you
in
forgot?
completely.
You're such an entertainer.
I don't have an agent. I jumped in, not here in the Sioux.
No, but I mean, like, you're an entertainer, so it's not something that you would be, like, scared about.
No, I just jumped in the car and then drove down to the tech and walked in and walked on stage and sang the opening number and then sat and became a judge, and I was there till 9:30 at night, so I missed. And then, so Keith and I never had our steak dinner. We never got to the concert. And then afterwards, we went to a place, I won't mention the name, completely disappointed in both the service and the food quality. It was basically, but I gotta tell ya, Sioux Sing, I mean, Algoma, what we do, hi Lindsay, we do Sioux Sings for kids. The Sioux's Got Talent was a great evening of entertainment.
Good.
You know
Good.
what? I'm sorry I missed the McIsaacs, but I'm not sorry that I was involved. And the portion of the proceeds are going to the Canadian Cancer Society, which is why I said yes to judging in the first place, because I wanted to support them. So
And
then on
Keith,
what?
Keith left on Sunday?
Well, then on and then on Saturday with the Comedy Guild. By the way, this is one of the issues we have with community theater. The Musical Comedy Guild has been around for 1962, same as me, 55 years. One of the ongoing issues we have is where do we keep our stuff, sets, props, all that stuff. The Catholic School Board has been incredible over these last years. They keep allowing us to use these empty schools, but they have to sell the schools off.
Well, sure.
We just got the boot from St. Anne's. It sold, and now we just had to move again. All of our set stuff, 4 hours of moving, volunteers,
Oh, wow.
all of that. Like, I ripped my little finger open.
Oh, you did.
So I spent my day on Saturday moving stuff for the Comedy Guild. If you have a space that we can store our stuff in, we need a warehouse, a garage, something, and you can just take
I
a
have a
little
cold
bit of
room.
money. Thank you. It's a cold room. Yeah, then you've got to move out all the red wine. Where are you going to put all that? You need another garage.
I'm not moving no red wine, honey.
Anyway, so I moved sets all day. I get home and Bowser's gone to Porchetta for the Y. And it was Kim Caruso's
Oh,
left
my
the Y.
gosh.
She's retired,
Yes.
resigned from the Y, so they're having a big going away party. Bowser's gone from 3 o'clock till 11 p.m. 8 hours out drinking and partying for Porchetta.
And then he woke
Thanks,
up.
Boomer Brado. You took my boyfriend away for the last night in town. So I screwed up on Friday. Bowser disappears on Saturday. He comes home. He was in no shape to stay up and talk. And then on Sunday, I had to go and rehearse all day for Mamma Mia, and Keith is gone. Okay, wrap it up, I know. Don't you? She asked.
I'm so glad I asked. Oh my. I'm exhausted.
I know. Well, try being me.
Yeah, no thanks.
We have to go now.
Yeah, throw it to a commercial break.
I'm going to throw to a commercial break and come back with my friend Lindsay Fair to talk about, well, craving change and also Halloween. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Mornings with Luann and Tim and Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay.
Hello.
It's so nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
We've worked together. We've done Sousings for kids together. And how are things going with you at Algoma Public Health?
Great.
Are they great?
Yes, it's
and
very good.
you are one of the 3 dietitians.
Yes.
Okay, and you have a program now. You're running it for the second time.
Yep.
Craving Change.
Yes.
Sounds interesting, Lindsay Farrell. Tell me, what does it mean?
So what Craving Change is you're committing to coming into Algoma Public Health in the evening for 4 weeks, once each week.
Once a week for 4 weeks?
Once
so
a week
you
for
have to
4
sign
weeks.
up for the whole shebang. You don't have to just choose a night.
Yes.
You're committed to four sessions?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's important to meet all those 4 sessions so that we can hopefully successfully change some behaviors.
Because there's a through line on this. I mean, you need to attend because
you need to commit to
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the concept is it's about food cravings that we have.
Yes.
And so for the first 2 sessions, you were saying, you sort of take a look. You ask the people who are involved, the participants, to really consider when they eat and why they eat, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's not a program that's going to tell you what to eat or when to eat. It's not a diet plan or a program like that. It's really diving into the deeper issues of why we eat and those triggers that help that sort of guide our eating and.
So, like for instance, let's say somebody has stress in their life. There's a certain thing that happens in their lives, and it's a relationship, maybe being a mother even. You get stressed out because you can't get the kids to bed, blah, 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 and you finally get the kids to bed, and it's just triggered something in you. It's like, I gotta have ice cream, or I gotta have something. And you reach for that thing because there's a reason for it. And this is what's gonna help you figure out what the reasons are.
That's right. So it's looking for the reasons. And we've had participants in the past say that food's their drug of choice, or I've got 20 pounds of retirement to lose. So is it boredom, or is it? So it's really looking at sort of why because sometimes it's not the food that we're craving, it's the feelings we get from eating the food that we're craving.
I can totally relate to that. For me, chocolate.
Yeah.
The feeling that I get when I eat chocolate, it's like a very unique feeling.
Right?
And then sometimes with some food, once I start, it's like, oh, I gotta have one more bite of that.
That's right. Right.
And why? I mean, so you say the first 2 sessions are sort of talking about what it is, when it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, the situations that surround it.
Being able to identify all those triggers and really self-reflect, and then we get into strategies.
So the last 2 weeks is once you've identified what these things are, then you start talking about how you can train your brain.
That's right.
To respond differently.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In psychological speak, it's a cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes, there's parts of cognitive behavioral therapy.
Becoming aware of your
we
behaviors.
Do. That's right.
And why?
And there's a whole sort of buffet of strategies that people can choose from.
Dietitian uses the word buffet. See how clever she is?
And so it's good because we can give everybody a unique way to.
Could you? I'm putting you on the spot. Could you give me an example of a strategy? Of course you are. That's what I do. Could you give me an example of a strategy that has been recommended for people?
Journaling can be one. And that's really more to identify triggers, probably. But sometimes even just vocally telling yourself to stop.
Say it out loud.
Yeah, it seems. And saying it out loud at first but then it in your head.
Internally, yeah, just that internal voice.
Yeah.
So you can talk to yourself. It's that internal dialogue.
Yep.
Look it up. See.
Or distracting yourself.
Oh, that's a
Right?
great. Yeah. Any kind of with addiction.
Yep.
That works with tobacco, with all kinds of alcohol, all kinds of distract yourself, get your mind off it.
That's right.
Yeah, and because, is this true also with food? I know with tobacco cravings, I've been told that maybe 10 minutes is the average length of a craving for a cigarette, and if you can get past that 10 minutes, chances are you can go without that cigarette.
We do talk about sort of, we call it riding the wave of the crave. So it's kind of, you get past it, and eventually it takes less time each time
get better
to sort
at
of
it.
get past that craving.
Now, this workshop, you're almost full for this one that's coming up.
Yeah.
When does this start, in November, Linz?
It starts tomorrow.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So, and I think you said before we came into air, maybe 2 spots left on this one. It's
Yeah, not many left from this one, but we are going to
That's a great sign. It's popular and it's working because you've done it before.
Yeah.
So you're going to run this again in the spring?
Yep.
So keep that in mind out there if you're looking for something to if you keep it in the back of your mind. Well, to contact you, Algoma Public Health, it's easy.
Yep.
705-942-4646. And then Lindsay Farah is the dietitian, and there's several of you they can speak to.
Yes, there is.
Now, can we talk? Thank you for that.
And what I wanted to say quickly about that too is that the tricky part with food is that we can't live without food. So when you talk about other addictions, you can essentially live without cigarettes, or you can live without alcohol, but you have to eat to survive. So it throws a bit of a wrench in things, which makes it a little more tricky.
I never thought about that perspective. This is why you do what you do.
I guess.
I asked for a favor.
Yes.
I asked if you could maybe talk a little bit about Halloween, since it is coming up in a couple of days.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure that Algoma Public Health must have some Halloween tips.
Yeah. And I mean, a healthy Halloween isn't getting rid of all the candy. That's not what we're suggesting, but letting kids know that treats are okay on occasion and spreading them out over time. When it comes to safety, we want to make sure that the kids are seen and that they practice road safety while they're running house to house.
A lot of it's costumes with glowing things on them. Perhaps,
add a glow necklace any of the reflectors. Sometimes you can get reflector tape, but it's important that they are seen. And then we do also encourage brushing and flossing after we have our candies.
I had a lady on, a dental hygienist on.
Yes.
And she did talk about all of that stuff.
Yep.
And she also talked about some tips, strategies. Only give the candies maybe as a dessert with a meal. At the end of a meal, perhaps, give a chocolate bar, whatever. Don't let the kids dump their pillowcase out, sit down in the middle of their candy and just do this. Regulate when the candy's eaten, right?
Yeah, and we just don't want candy to replace healthy meals and snacks. So we want to make sure that we're eating healthy and getting all the nutrients that we need, so that they're not replacing those healthy foods, and then moderating the
She also
the treats.
suggested perhaps when you have a treat, serve it with a sliced apple, so that you're having a little chocolate and an apple, and you're also helping to clean your teeth while you eat the apple. But 2 times a day, 2 minutes each time you brush.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
2 for 2.
It's what we do. Also, Halloween safety, they should be with an adult.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they should always have an adult check their candy before they eat it.
And what about as far as the weather's supposed to be nice here this year? We heard 11 degrees on Halloween.
That's wonderful.
So, but dress warm anyway. Like dress and stay dry.
Yes.
It's not supposed to rain though, so that'll be good. You said you get how many kids to your house?
We get over 200 at my house.
200 kids for Halloween. You said you spend more money on candy than you do on costumes for your kids. You should go to Luann. Luann has 2 kids a year. Anyway, Lindsay, it's so nice to see you.
It's so nice to see you
Thanks
too.
for coming in early.
Thank you.
And for being on the show. You're going to come back. I asked you, I would love to have you come back in the spring before the next Craving Change and maybe bring somebody who participated to talk about their experience in it.
Yeah, that would be great.
Keep that in mind when
That
you're
would be
running this
great.
session for the next 4 weeks.
Yes.
See if you find a good candidate for me to come back in and talk to us.
Why don't you join us in the program?
What do you suggest?
No.
Actually, you know what, Lindsay? No, you know what? And this isn't just about anybody who's got a weight issue.
No,
this is all about staying health.
It's health.
It's good health. So you don't. Oh, I have to go. Luann's back.
Okay.
We're in trouble. I gotta shut up.
Okay.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Okay,
We'll be
thank
back with
you.
Luann and say goodbye right after this.
It's just a jump to the left.
This city, we built this city on rock and roll. Built this city, we built this city on.
And that's our Monday morning show. We have 30 seconds left. You were having so much fun in that segment.
I miss Lindsay. I loved working with her. She's amazing and she's great at what she does.
Isn't that awesome? We get to meet so many wonderful people
We
through
do.
this job, don't we?
Yes.
Well, I hope you have the best rest of your day.
I hope the same for you and
Thank
all of you
you.
as well. And we'll
Yes.
see you tomorrow on Tuesday. We have another full show on Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
Have a good one.